Hello, I'm Anna from Cisco's TME team. Today I'm going to share with you a sneak peek of our new access and pre-agg router, the NCS 540. As you can see, it is a 1 lakh unit box, the same form factor as Cisco's ASR 920. It may be small, but it definitely packs a punch in terms of throughput and features, which is hopefully what I can show you in this video. But just quickly for a size reference, the device is a little wider and a little taller than my Windows laptop. We designed it this way so that it can fit into tight spaces very well in Access deployments, but it still offers ridiculous throughput. Let's understand how it does that. This box boasts of a variety of interface or port speeds. The ports marked in purple from 0 to 23 support a maximum port speed of 10 gig. Those marked in yellow from 24 to 31 support up to 25 gigs, and the two green ports support up to 100 gigs. So what do I mean by maximum port speed? Every single port on the NCS 540 can be user configured according to your bandwidth requirements. For example, every one of the ports from 0 to 23 can be configured to run at a speed of 1 gig or 10 gig. They can also support a lower speed of 100 meg if you use copper cables. The yellow ports are somewhat interesting in that in hardware they are grouped together as 4 ports called a quad. So we have 2 quads for a total of 8 ports. And while the max bandwidth that they can support is 25 gig each, you can also configure through CLI one quad to support 1 gig or 10 gig speeds. But it is an all or nothing deal. That is, in one quad, all 4 ports must run at 1 gig or at 10 gig or at 25 gig. The two 100 gig ports in green can support speeds of 40 gig or 100 gig. And not just that, these two ports can also break out into 4 10 gig ports or 4 25 gig ports, depending on how you configure it. To achieve this type of cabling, we use something called breakout cables. Here's an example of one. This can connect one port on the NCS 540 to 4 ports on peer devices. So, we've seen that this box supports port speeds from 100 meg to 100 gig. How's that for variety? And every single port's bandwidth is user configurable. So essentially, you have a lot of freedom to customize the box in tune with your expanding network. Now, with 24 10 gig, 8 25 gig, and 200 gig ports, the box supports a maximum of 640 Gbps in throughput. The ASIC that runs the box supports 300 Gbps bidirectionally. What this means is that the box is oversubscribed in an almost 2:1 capacity, in fact, but it's kind of awesome that for this much throughput, we still only need around 200 watts of power for normal use. With respect to the router's shell casing, there are two versions available. To find out which one is which, you can look out for an X here. If there is an X in the product's serial ID, it means the box has a special conformal coating, which means the box can withstand temperatures up to 70 degrees Celsius or as low as minus 40 degrees. The other version's casing does not have the same coating, but all other hardware and software specs remain exactly the same. The NCS 540 uses front to back cooling, which simply means the power supplies are in the front and the fans are at the back of the device. We have two power supplies in the front. They take AC or DC. At least one power supply must be active for the device to be online. That's what's seen here. In the back panel, we have 4 fans and an interface for alarms. The fans run in a 2+2 redundancy, that is, at most it requires 2 fans to be active. When the box is running at full capacity though, all 4 fans will be active and we use up to 270 watts of power in this case. And finally, for the regular stuff, we have one management port, one console port, and one time of day port. All 3 of them take RJ45 cables. There's also an USB slot for a memory stick. For timing, the standard 1 pulse per second and 10M SMB ports are available. There is no bits port on the NCS 540, but it does come with an integrated GNSS receiver that you can connect directly to a GPS antenna, and the box is ready as a grandmaster clock. So that's about it on the hardware aspects of the NCS 540, but to make magic, this hardware needs equally robust software to fully utilize the ASIC's power. So next, let's take a quick look at Cisco's legendary iOS XR that runs on the box.